We founded this rally by the California Fire Chiefs Association in 2009. The purpose was to bring together a number of state-of-the-art mobile command center, mobile communications center vehicles that are deployed around the country to provide a support of communications, coordination, documentation, and interoperability at major incidents. What we wanted to do was bring them all together. There was an event like this occurring in Fairfax, Virginia that we got the idea from, and we thought here on the West Coast it would be good to follow their lead and have the ability for people to come and see what's going on, what kinds of units are out there, what the different agencies have, what kind of resources can be brought to a major incident, because on a local level you may be dealing with one mobile communications center, but on a large disaster or major emergency, especially a mutual aid operation, you're going to have a lot of them there. So it would be good for people to see what's available and how they work together and how we utilize them in the event of a major disaster.
Where you're visiting today, you're actually on board the mobile command vehicle for PG&E. We use this vehicle as a rolling emergency operations center. We deploy this vehicle to wildland fires, gas dig-ins, any incident or emergency incident that would require an emergency response from PG&E. We can work directly from the incident with our leadership and with our crews to address any of the problems with our infrastructure. The primary purpose of our mobile command vehicle is to allow our incident management teams and our leadership to be directly on site wherever there's a problem with any of our electrical or gas equipment, so that we can have closer communication with our first responder and public safety communities and have closer communications with our field crews. When we deploy this vehicle, there are many circumstances and incidents. Predominantly, we've seen the last few years, they've been deployed on the wildland fires. So we can work directly with the fire agencies for both customer safety and first responder safety. We will also deploy this for gas dig-ins. Anytime there's emergencies at any of our substations. And then sometimes if we have a long-term project, we will deploy this into the field, into that area, so that we have an on-site office to be able to work directly from. Many of the characteristics of this vehicle allow us to facilitate the functions that we would from an office. So for example, our internet capability, we have satellite capability. We can use our televisions for situational awareness, for broadcasting local news. We can tap into our GIS system at our headquarters, and we can also use it for meeting spaces and then just general communications between our leadership, our headquarters, and our field crews. One of the most unique things about PG&E's mobile command vehicle is not everybody expects the utility company to have a mobile command vehicle like a lot of your public safety agencies do. But because of what we do to protect our infrastructure and our facilities, we really are protecting critical infrastructure to keep the power on, to keep the gas flowing, to keep the energy on, and to keep the power on. So it's unique in the fact that, yes, a utility company has a mobile command vehicle, but it's been an invaluable tool for us and has allowed us to directly partner with and stay engaged with all of our public safety agencies. We're just very, PG&E has been very grateful and very excited to have been a participant. This is our 5th year participating in the rally, and every year we come back with a new technology and new information to share, and it's just been a great relationship builder for PG&E to be a part of it.
This vehicle was built by Frontline Communications in Florida. So the most common assignment for this vehicle is large wildland fires. It's ordered as through the incident ordering system, and it's actually a northern region asset vehicle. So the order comes to us through the Ross ordering program. The biggest demand or requirement of this vehicle is for radio communications. It also has a PBX phone, comes with a PBX phone server. It has the ability to access 8 SIP phone lines. It has 8 fixed wireless terminal cellular units on it, and as well as being able to receive landline wired communication from the phone company. There's a satellite that we can get internet access through, and then a satellite with a dish TV connection. I think this unit is often set up for multiple weeks in a row, where a lot of other communications vans are focused on shorter assignments. The function of the van is radio communications. So we have 4 telex radio monitors, which the monitors actually control the radios that are in the rack. That allows us to share one radio with multiple radio operators. We can also have a portable repeater on board, so that if we can't get communications out, it extends our reach. So the mast is a 40-foot mast. At the top of the mast we have a camera, an over-the-air television antenna, and a receive antenna for the VHF radios to provide antenna separation. The VHF radios actually transmit off the antennas mounted to the roof, but they receive off of the antenna on top of the mast. It reduces interference. So there's 3 radio consoles back here where the radio operators would sit, and again, they control the radios that are in the equipment cabinet. Yes.
Ended up choosing for this is LDV, Lynch Diversified Vehicles, out of Wisconsin. So we did a lot of research. We came to these mobile command van rallies and gathered ideas, and then I went out to several vendors, 3 or 4 vendors that I'd heard about, asked them for some information on what we're looking for and what they can do for us. And at that point, once we gathered that information, we started getting some basic design ideas. We, through our county purchasing department, went through a RFP process, a bid process, and so we put the vehicle out to bid, and at the end of the bid process, Lynch Diversified ended up being the vendor that came out on top and won the bid. This vehicle is replacing our older mobile command vehicle, so it's a command and control platform. We talked during the design process about a lot of different things. We want it to have a communications capability, a public safety dispatch capability, and command. It's really focused only on command and control, so to manage large-scale incidences. This vehicle is a Contra Costa Sheriff's Office asset, so the majority of staff on board are Sheriff's Office employees. So when it deploys, we have a driver and a technician that goes with it to whichever event it is. And so we use this, the basic concept of our build out for this vehicle is that it's multifunctional, multi-capability. So it's not a SWAT command vehicle, it's not an incident command vehicle, it's not a search and rescue vehicle, it's all of those things. And so we built this with a lot of different capabilities and mix and match capabilities to make it fit the mission that it's going to. So it last couple weeks ago went on a SWAT call. Last month it went on a missing person. We are developing a relationship with our fire district to have it go out on large-scale fire events to support their events. So that's we want it to be multifunctional and used by agencies in our county and outside our county. For us, one of the biggest upgrades that we have with this over our previous vehicle is it has 4 slide outs, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. When those slide outs are deployed, it creates a very large workspace for us and allows many people to be able to work here in here comfortably. We have it divided up into 3 areas. In the front area, we do have dispatch capable stations here if we need them. We use tactical dispatchers on our SWAT calls, so they could be here. We have workstations. We have 6 workstations throughout the vehicle that have full computer capability, access to the internet, and for research and that sort of purposes. And then in the back can be our hostage negotiation team. During a SWAT call, they can go back there and do what they do. We have a conference table capability, so we can have a command element on a different incident go back there and do the decision making. And we also have workstations back there. So in a search and rescue or fire event, our planning group goes back there. They can work on maps on the large table and develop intelligence for the operation that we're on. Like all mobile command vehicles, this can be plugged into shore power or it's generator power. 99% of the time we're on generator power. And what we found with that is in a long-term event, when you're in here, you can feel the rattle and hear the noise. It can become exhausting if you're on an 8-hour shift on the radio or working in here. So what we've developed is a support element for this vehicle, which is a 14-foot trailer that has a 24 kW generator that we can hook that up, basically like shore power. You could plug this into a building. Well, we can plug it into the generator, set the generator up 50 feet away, and you won't hear that. You won't have the hum. Right now I can feel in my feet. You probably can feel in your feet inside this vehicle, and the noise is completely cut off. So that rolls out with a F550 that has a external auxiliary diesel tank. So in the field we can top the generator off, or we can top this vehicle off, as opposed to driving back and filling it and going back. So it allows us to be stationed remotely for long periods of time and have that support.
The manufacturer, EVI, we're out of West Palm Beach. We're a specialty vehicle manufacturer. We specialize in mobile command and heavy rescue. We have 3 divisions: law enforcement, fire division, and homeland security. This is a mobile command unit. This is deployed on all major incidents in the city of Richmond and mutual aid for surrounding cities. This has the capability as a standalone unit for mobile EOC and mobile command. This unit is cross-staffed, so it is responded with on-duty police personnel and staffed by on-duty police personnel. This unit is capable of total self-sufficient unit. It has the mobile emergency operations center and mobile dispatch in the event of a natural disaster or in the event of those capabilities being lost by the city and their headquarters. It's like I said, it's a self-contained unit with a 20 kW generator. It's got camera masts. It's got total self-sufficient for electronics, and really could run as the mobile command and EOC in the event of their system, internal system, going down.
We are inside the mobile command vehicle, which is known as COM 7401. It was manufactured by LDV in 1995, and we acquired this vehicle through a grant. It is a regional asset, and so every agency within the Sacramento region can utilize this vehicle. One of the most important things about this vehicle is the Rios system, and this is what this screen is here. We can patch together any type of radio resource there is just by a touch of a button, and you can touch. So now these 3 agencies can talk together regardless of what radio system they have. So that's the most unique part about our vehicle. We have 5 positions back here in the dispatch center, and each dispatch position can have a different screen view. So this one will have the TV from the command area. This one is our mast camera. That one has a quadrant of 4, and then you don't have to have one, and then you can have something completely different back here. So each station is different, but the Rios is the same at every single position in this vehicle. Well, with the Sacramento region, we are all on the 800 megahertz system, so we don't have to really provide any interoperability. But when we did go up to Placer County for an incident, we were able to patch in some of their radios into our system. That way everybody could talk, even though we had different radio systems. Well, this vehicle allows everybody to talk together. You can have, in the command area, you can have all of the incident commanders, fire department, public works, police, all together. And then we can provide the communication to those units back here in the dispatch center. So it allows everybody to talk together utilizing the Rios radio system.
We are part of the Homeless Response Force, so whenever there's a domestic disaster, we go ahead and provide communication support such as voice and data and video. We operate SINGARS radios as well as UHF and VHF. When we deploy with this unit, we provide communication support. We support interoperability, voice communications with other agencies.
Some of the main features people want in their command vehicles are data connectivity through a satellite television, radio interoperability, video surveillance, being able to tie into their local video system that their cities have, and being able to send the images from their command vehicle back to their headquarters and vice versa. This vehicle has all of that capability, and it has additional features. We also do a vehicle automation system that is very useful in that it really reduces the amount of training time that's required for your officers to operate the vehicle. It makes it simple to set up and take down, so you spend less time working on getting your vehicle ready to respond to an incident. By using the automation system, you set it up and you can respond more quickly. Another feature that people like in command vehicles is slide-out rooms, because it really opens up the space. If you look in this vehicle, you can see there's 4 slide-out rooms, and it opens the interior, gives you a lot more options as far as how you set it up, as far as communications, dispatch stations, and conference rooms for command staff.
Our communications vehicle is a satellite communications vehicle. It has satellite capabilities. We have voice over internet protocol phones. We also have UHF and VHF and CMARS radio in there. And so we are able to communicate, use this vehicle when we're out in the field to communicate with our emergency response office in Sacramento. The essential characteristics of the unit is, of course, communication. We have to be able to send information either through a phone call or through data transfer through the laptops that we can hook up. We have Wi-Fi capabilities, sending information from the field to the Emergency Operations Center. This vehicle is going to be used to go out into areas like the Delta, remote areas, not necessarily next to a command center. The command center might be maybe 30 to 45 minutes away, and the vehicle might be able to get closer to the area where the flood fight is occurring, so that we can send information that is needed to assist with the emergency response back to the command center or back to the emergency operations center back at the main base in Sacramento. So the comm trailer is also limited. It cannot possibly go on a levee. It would be unsafe, but it can go close in an area close to there, where our comm unit leader can get information from the incident commander and then relay that information back to the command center, incident command post, or back to the Sacramento Emergency Operations Center.
Rig that we have is for communication. We need to talk to the people while they actually go behind the fire line, so we need to be able to speak to them. When they go behind the fire line, they become property of the fire, whatever, CAL FIRE, but we do need to speak to them before they go and on their way back to let us know how many animals they're bringing back, and so we can validate that they will be room in the shelter for them. We're trying to get the public aware that everybody knows that when there's a disaster, they should always have a go bag for themselves, but don't forget to have something ready to go for your animals, because they really get highly stressed and they don't understand anything except by what you, the owner, does for them. So we just want to keep all the animals safe. We're under the umbrella in Butte County under animal control, but when we go behind the fire lines, or when we go do swift water rescue or helicopter, we have to speak to the county that we're working with or that we're assisting, and we have to communicate with any way that the fire might be going, if it's changing. So we need to communicate with all the agencies that have been there for mutual assistance for the fire.
This vehicle the trailer was donated from the Sheriff's Department. It came from federal funds. The balance of the equipment, all the way from the insulation, the whiteboard you can see, all the equipment, this came from SHARP funds. SHARP is a 501c3. Most of the money was raised through fireworks stands. So how much money is in this trailer? I'm going to guess we have at least $5,000 in here right now. The labor is all donated by our members. This unit is used for auxiliary and emergency communications. It is self-sufficient. It has a 12-volt battery pack. It has a number of generators, or it can also run off of what we call shore power. So we could run for many, many hours without having access to electricity. All of the equipment in here, with the exception of the heat pump, is 12 volt. All of the lighting is modern 12 volt lighting. We have red lights for night operations. Each workstation operates off a light dimmer. We have communications equipment from various different agencies. We're on 800 trunking system, Sacramento County communication system. So we can tie into Sac Sheriff, Sac PD, Citrus Heights PD, Metro Fire, you name it. In addition to that, we're on various different ham radio bands, including an HF unit which could conceivably communicate from around the world. We have various kinds of antennas up on the roof. Some are for short range use, and some again for long range. Channel 13, local KOVR, was very great, very nice that they donated to us a 40-foot telescoping mast. And I've noticed it's the only one outsider with an American flag on it. Again, SHARP is a volunteer organization, and through the chain of command, we would be called to assist at some scene. It would typically be an area where existing communications do not work well. And this happens, what we can contribute, we have a repeater on board, which extends our range. We also have a repeater up on Carpenter Ridge, which is on the rim of the Sacramento Valley, up by El Dorado Hills. We have another repeater up on Mount Vaca, I believe it is, correct? So we can provide communications where other communication systems fail. Well, what is unique about this vehicle is that it's self-supporting. It has, as I said, we can run off of generators, we can run off of shore power, we have heating, air conditioning, we can make this a very comfortable environment inside. And plus the fact that everything is low voltage, is not dependent on the environment. First year exhibiting this equipment at this event. This unit is less than 2 years old. 2 years ago, I attended and I was taking pictures like many other people have today, and I've come up with, we've come up with many ideas as to what a unit like this should have. We put those ideas together, and this is what you see.
This is going to be SMSO MCV, LDV vehicles out of Wisconsin. This unit was acquired in 2012 using a combination of grant and local funding for the total purchase price. The vehicle was originally designed as a mobile emergency operations center for our county, so in case we had to evacuate our current EOC, we could move into a mobile environment and continue to function. In a normal deployment, we will staff it with a driver and a tech who will go with the vehicle and get it set up, and then we will bring in the necessary operations, whether or not it's going to be volunteers, whether it's going to be staff from our public safety communications, the sheriff's office, or from other police agencies. So the vehicle is designed in multiple places. We have both satellite and cell phone internet capability. We have voice over IP phones, which allow us to continue to operate even though local phones may be down. We have a full radio dispatch center in here, so we can have both fire and police dispatch operating, as well as we have a video downlink system, so we can get real-time media feeds from overhead public safety aircraft as well as the news media. The most unique about the vehicle is the fact that we have so much room in our sections. With the flat floors, we can really get a large amount of working space in here. We can have meetings and give people the true space that they need without crowding each other. The vehicle is basically a regional asset for the peninsula as well as the 10 Bay Area counties, and we're proud to offer it to anyone who may need it.
This is a Farber Specialty Vehicle. We've had it about 12 years now. We did a systems update about 2 years ago, updated our AV systems and some of the other equipment in here, along with moving everything into a network rack from air being spread out throughout the vehicle. We are multi-agency, multi-discipline. We support both law and fire. Predominantly we get called out by the fire departments. They tend to be our biggest user, but we are out for anything or any agency that needs us within Solano County or any of the surrounding counties. We are therefore the agency that's requested. If it's our agency, we'll staff it with our personnel. From a manpower standpoint, we've actually stood up a mobile command vehicle operators group, and it's made up of volunteers. A majority of them have public safety background. My team captain is retired Cal Fire Battalion Chief, was on one of the California Incident Management Team. One of my other members is a battalion chief with one of our local fire districts. I have a retired fire chief, so we have a big cross-section of personnel, but they all feel the need and see the importance of this vehicle and volunteer their time to both go out and staff it and maintain it and do training with it. We have communications with every public safety agency in Solano County, including Travis Air Force Base. From what we've been told, we are one of the few agencies that has a military radio on their vehicle. We do that. We've done a lot of work with Travis Air Force Base. But we try and be very cross-discipline. The rear being an area just to allow conference rooms. The mid area here is strictly communications, and also just the normal bathroom and galley and stuff, so we can keep people tethered in here. I don't know that there's anything really unique about it, but we try and make sure that it gets used regularly. My philosophy has always been I'd rather have them using it on a regular basis, so when we do have a major event, it's within all the people's comfort zones. It's not something that's putting additional stress during a major incident. We try to be as versatile as possible. During the recent RAG fire that hit Solano County, we were able to provide backup communications to CAL FIRE, and when some of their equipment went down, we were able to step in, establish communications links, and keep them operational during that event.
We respond to any disasters, events, exercises, and we will set up a command post, as you can see behind me. Fits up to 20 people plus, comes with computers, phones, printers, voice over IP, secure space if needed, secure communications, along with VHF, UHF, HF, and satellite communications. And we do have a smaller vehicle. It's a mobile communications vehicle, and that has a more robust communications than our command post does. Our biggest support is to support communications with our Coast Guard units. They have a smaller communication suite than we do, so what we do is we go over there to the assets, to the units, and set up communications. So we can work with not just only our Coast Guard units, but we work with federal agencies, other government agencies, public safety, police, fire, local EMS. We can do anywhere, any interoperability with VHF, UHF, HF communications.